Do you ever feel like your body is just winding down? Like you're supposed to slow down now? Like the best days are just naturally behind you? Maybe you've heard things like, you can't teach an old dog new tricks, or memory just goes when you get older, or it's just your age. These little phrases, these ideas, they seep into our minds, don't they? They become a kind of quiet permission to limit ourselves, to accept less, to feel, well, old. It's a painful reality that the very language and beliefs around aging can become self-fulfilling prophecies, boxing us in before we ever truly test our limits. But here's the secret. Much of what society tells us about aging isn't just depressing. It's flat out wrong. There are deeply ingrained myths about getting older that are holding so many wonderful people back from living fully, from exploring, from feeling vibrant and capable. These myths make you feel older than you are, less able than you are, and frankly, they rob you of joy and possibility. In this video, we're going to shine a light on 6 of these stubborn aging myths, pull back the curtain, and see them for the falsehoods they are. We're going to talk about what the truth really is and how understanding it can actually empower you to feel younger, stronger, and more alive than you thought possible. Get ready to challenge some long-held beliefs. Stay with me to the end, because the last one we uncover might be the most surprising and the most freeing. Let's start with the first myth, one that puts a real damper on things for so many people. And it goes something like this myth. Number 1. Significant physical decline and loss of strength are inevitable parts of aging that you can't do anything about. How many times have you heard or felt that ache in your knees, or felt a bit weaker than you used to and thought, well, that's just age. It's easy to fall into this trap, believing that losing muscle mass, becoming frailer, and having less energy are just the natural, unavoidable trajectory of getting older. And yes, there are natural changes that happen in the body over time. Connective tissues change, bones can lose density, and yes, if you do nothing, you will lose muscle mass. But the key phrase there is, if you do nothing. The myth is that this level of decline is inevitable and untreatable, and that's simply not true. Think about it this way. Our bodies are incredibly adaptable, even as we get older. The principle of use it or lose it is profoundly true, perhaps even more so later in life. While you might not be able to run a marathon like you did at 20, the idea that you're destined for frailty and significant weakness is a myth perpetuated by inactivity, not by age itself. The truth is that strength training, even starting later in life, can dramatically improve muscle mass, bone density, balance, and overall strength. Studies have shown remarkable results in people in their 70s, 80s, and even 90s who started regular resistance exercises. We're not talking about lifting huge weights at a gym, though, if you want to. Go for it. We're talking about simple things using resistance bands, lifting light dumbbells or even soup cans, using your own body weight for exercises like chair squats or wall push-ups. The actionable step here is to incorporate some form of resistance exercise into your routine a few times a week. It doesn't have to be complicated or strenuous to start. Begin gently. If you're unsure where to start, there are many senior-focused exercise programs available online or in local community centers. A physical therapist can also design a safe and effective program tailored just for you. The point is, you have agency over your physical strength. That feeling of weakness, that assumption of decline, is often a result of inactivity built over years, not solely the passage of time. Reclaiming strength isn't about trying to be 20 again. It's about maintaining the ability to live independently, to do the things you love, to get up off the floor, to carry groceries, to play with grandchildren, without pain or excessive effort. That is absolutely achievable and not a myth. Believing you can't get stronger will certainly ensure you don't. Believing you can, and taking small steps, will prove the myth wrong every single day. And that brings us beautifully to another common belief that just isn't true. Myth number 2. As you age, your brain inevitably declines, leading to significant memory loss and the inability to learn new things. Oh, this is a pervasive one, isn't it? We misplace our keys, or forget a name. And the immediate, often fearful thought is, oh no, it's starting, my memory is going because of my age. And society reinforces this fear. How many jokes are there about senior moments, while it's true that some changes occur in the brain over time? And conditions like Alzheimer's and dementia are more common in older age. The widespread belief that significant cognitive decline is a normal, unavoidable part of aging for everyone is a damaging myth. It creates anxiety and can even discourage people from challenging their minds. The reality is far more optimistic. The brain is much more resilient and adaptable than we used to believe. Scientists now talk about neuroplasticity, the brain's ability to reorganize itself by forming new neural connections throughout life. This means your brain can continue to learn, to adapt, and even to grow stronger in certain areas, regardless of your age. Yes, processing speed might slow down a bit for some people, and some types of memory might not be as sharp as they once were. But critical thinking, wisdom, and the ability to see patterns and make complex decisions often remain strong or even improve with age and experience. The idea that you're too old to learn a new language, take up a musical instrument, figure out how to use a new piece of technology, or master a new skill is simply untrue. It might take a little more effort, a different approach, or require more repetition than it did when you were younger. Winter. Pointistin zes oyan ti, ens ander, oyan ober, besonseringo. Manain dia dies botart. In the shy, satodind, bondi, nijiandins huyoichikai. So, what's the actionable step to combat this myth? Engage your brain deliberately. Treat it like a muscle you want to keep strong. Learning new things, like learning a new language or a new musical instrument, is fantastic because it forces your brain to build new pathways. But it doesn't have to be that structured. Reading challenging books, doing puzzles like crosswords or Sudoku, playing strategy games, even taking a different route home or trying to brush your teeth with your non-dominant hand can stimulate different parts of your brain. Social interaction is also incredibly important for cognitive health. Talking, listening, and engaging with others keeps your mind active and connected. Don't let the fear of senior moments paralyze you. Instead, see them as signals to pay a little more attention. Perhaps write things down, or create systems to help you remember. But don't internalize them as proof of inevitable decline. Your brain is a lifelong learner, and feeding it new information and challenges is one of the most powerful ways to stay sharp and disprove this limiting myth. Don't ever think you're too old to learn something new. The world is still full of wonders waiting for you to discover them. Now that we've discussed the myths around physical strength and brain function, let's move on to another deeply ingrained belief that can really dampen your spirits as you get older. Now, following on from the idea that your brain and body are in inevitable decline, here's myth number 3. As you get older, you should naturally slow down, rest more, and avoid too much activity. This myth often comes from a place of concern, maybe from well-meaning family, or even from yourself. You might hear things like, be careful, don't overdo it, or you've earned the right to rest. And yes, listening to your body and allowing for adequate rest and recovery is absolutely crucial at any age, especially as you get older. But the myth here is the emphasis on slowing down and resting as the default state, avoiding activity as a way to preserve yourself. The painful reality is that excessive rest and inactivity are far more damaging than beneficial as we age. They lead to the very physical decline we talked about earlier: muscle loss, decreased bone density, poor balance, weight gain, and reduced cardiovascular health. They can also contribute to feelings of isolation and low mood. Think of your body and mind like a machine that needs regular use and maintenance to function well. Letting it sit idle allows things to rust and seize up. Staying active, on the other hand, keeps the parts moving smoothly, strengthens the structure, and improves efficiency. We're not suggesting you need to suddenly become a marathon runner or a weightlifter. We're talking about consistent, moderate activity. This could be regular walking, gardening, swimming, dancing, cycling, or joining a gentle exercise class like Tai Chi or yoga. The actionable step here is to make movement a non-negotiable part of your daily or weekly routine. Find activities you genuinely enjoy, because you're much more likely to stick with them. If walking is too hard on your joints, try swimming or water aerobics. If you find exercising alone boring, join a walking group or a class. Park a little further away. Take the stairs when you can. Get up and move around every 30-60 minutes if you spend a lot of time sitting. The key is consistency and finding an activity level that challenges you gently without causing excessive pain or exhaustion. Consult with your doctor before starting any new exercise program, especially if you have underlying health conditions. But don't let the myth that you should slow down and rest become an excuse for inactivity. Pushing back against this myth, staying active, even in small ways, is one of the most powerful things you can do to maintain your physical and mental health, your independence, and your overall quality of life. It injects energy into your days rather than draining it away. Speaking of quality of life and mindset, that leads us to myth number 4. Your best years are behind you, and aging is primarily a time of decline, loss, and winding down towards the end. This is perhaps one of the most emotionally damaging myths, fueled by societal narratives that glorify youth and often portray older age as a period of inevitable sadness, loneliness, and irrelevance. You might hear people talk about retirement as the end of productivity, or see portrayals of older adults as frail, grumpy, or out of touch. If you internalize this myth, it can lead to feelings of depression, a lack of purpose, and a reluctance to plan for the future or pursue new dreams. The painful reality is that believing your best years are over can actually make them feel that way, creating a self-fulfilling prophecy of disappointment. But this is a profound falsehood. While aging certainly brings challenges and changes, it also brings unique opportunities, freedoms, and potential for growth that other stages of life may not offer. Think about it. Retirement often means more free time to pursue hobbies, interests, and passions that were sidelined by work and family obligations. Grandchildren bring immense joy and a chance to experience the world through young eyes again. There is a wealth of accumulated wisdom, experience, and perspective that comes with living a long life, making older adults valuable mentors and contributors to their communities. Many people find new purpose in volunteering, starting a second career, learning new skills as we discussed, traveling, or deepening relationships. Your identity isn't tied to your job title or raising children anymore. It can be a time to explore who you are fundamentally and what truly brings you joy. The actionable step to debunk this myth is to actively seek out purpose, connection, and joy in this phase of life. Don't wait for happiness to find you. Go out and find it. What have you always wanted to learn or do? Is there a cause you care about? Are there people you want to spend more time with? Are there new people you'd like to meet? This is a time ripe for reinvention and rediscovery. Challenge the narrative in your own head, instead of focusing on what might have been lost. Focus on the possibilities that exist now. Frame this stage of life not as an ending, but as a new chapter. Perhaps one with more freedom, more wisdom, and a deeper understanding of what truly matters. Your best years can be right now, filled with presence, gratitude, and the pursuit of meaningful experiences. It's not about being young again. It's about embracing the richness and potential of the age you are now. Next, let's tackle a myth about our capacity for creativity and passion. Continuing on our journey of debunking limiting beliefs, let's tackle myth number 5 as you age. You naturally lose your creativity, curiosity, and passion for life. This myth often goes hand in hand with the idea that older age is just about slowing down and winding down. It suggests that the spark that drives innovation, exploration, and deep engagement with the world somehow fades away with the years. You might feel less inclined to try new things, or think that creativity is only for the young. The painful reality of believing this myth is that it can lead to a sense of stagnation, boredom, and a feeling that the vibrant, curious part of you has disappeared, making life feel less colorful and exciting. But look around at the incredible examples that disprove this every day. Think of the artists, Writers, musicians, scientists, and entrepreneurs who did some of their most significant work later in life. Grandma Moses started her prolific painting career in her late 70s. Colonel Sanders started KFC in his 60s. Many famous authors published their most celebrated novels well into their later years. Creativity, curiosity, and passion aren't tied to a birth certificate date. They're fueled by engagement with the world, a willingness to explore, and a desire to express yourself or contribute. In fact, accumulated life experience can provide a richer wellspring for creativity and deeper insights to fuel your passions. You have a lifetime of observations, emotions, and understanding to draw upon. The actionable step to combat this myth is to actively cultivate curiosity and engage in activities that spark joy and creativity. What did you love doing when you were younger but let slide? What have you always been curious about? It doesn't have to be a grand artistic pursuit. Creativity can be expressed in countless ways. Cooking a new recipe, gardening, writing letters, learning to knit or woodwork, taking a photography class, finding innovative solutions to everyday problems, or even just approaching familiar routines with a new perspective. Passion is about engaging deeply with something you care about, whether that's a hobby, a cause, a subject of study, or connecting with people. Make time for activities that light you up and make you feel alive. Join clubs, take classes, start a project. Don't let the myth tell you that you're supposed to sit idly by. Your capacity for creativity and passion is ageless, and nurturing it is vital for a fulfilling life at any age. Finally, let's look at the sixth myth, one that can really isolate people and make them feel disconnected. Myth number 6. As you get older, you become set in your ways, resistant to change, and less able to adapt to new situations or ideas. This myth paints a picture of older adults as rigid, stubborn, and perhaps a bit out of touch, clinging to the past and uncomfortable with anything new. You might hear people say, "You can't change him, her, they're too old." Or maybe you even worry about this in yourself, feeling overwhelmed by rapidly changing technology or societal norms. The painful reality of this myth is that it can create barriers between generations, limit your willingness to try new experiences, and make you feel left behind or irrelevant in a fast-moving world. But human beings, throughout their entire lives, are capable of incredible adaptation. Think about all the changes you've already navigated in your life career shifts, technological revolutions, changes in family structure, moving homes, dealing with loss, adapting to new health realities. You have a lifetime of experience in adjusting and finding your way through new circumstances. While it's true that established habits can be comfortable, and change can sometimes feel daunting at any age, the idea that older adults are inherently less adaptable than younger people is a stereotype, not a truth. Many older adults embrace new technology, travel to unfamiliar places, start new relationships, and successfully navigate significant life transitions. The capacity to adapt is less about age and more about mindset, resilience, and a willingness to engage with the new. The actionable step to challenge this myth is to consciously practice flexibility and embrace opportunities to learn and adapt. This could be something as simple as trying a new type of food, taking a different route for your walk, learning how to use a new app on your phone, or engaging in conversations with people who have different perspectives than yours. Challenge yourself to step slightly outside your comfort zone regularly. Be open to new ideas and ways of doing things. If technology feels overwhelming, find resources specifically designed for seniors, or ask a patient friend or family member for help. Frame challenges as opportunities to learn and grow, rather than insurmountable obstacles. Your life experiences have already equipped you with a vast toolkit for adaptation. Don't let the myth tell you that the toolkit is locked away just because you've reached a certain age. Staying open, curious, and willing to adapt is a powerful way to stay connected to the world and continue evolving as a person. So, we've peeled back the layers on 6 big aging myths that physical decline is inevitable and untreatable, that significant memory loss and inability to learn are guaranteed, that you should just slow down and rest, that your best years are behind you, that creativity and passion fade away, and that you become rigidly resistant to change. The truth is, the limitations we often feel as we age are far less about the number of years we've lived and far more about the myths we internalize and the inactivity, both physical and mental, that can result from believing them. Remember, small changes can make a big difference to your health, happiness, and how old you actually feel. It's about staying active, continuing to learn, nurturing your passions, staying connected, and embracing the incredible potential of this unique stage of life. Don't let outdated beliefs define you. You are capable of strength, creativity, learning, and joy. Regardless of your age, you have wisdom, experience, and so much left to offer and to experience. What aging myth have you heard or perhaps even believed yourself? What was one surprising truth from this video? Share your thoughts and experiences in the comments below. Your perspective could really help someone else who is grappling with these ideas. If you found this video encouraging and helpful, please give it a thumbs up. It really helps us reach more people who could benefit from hearing this message. And if you want to keep getting practical tips and positive perspectives on living well at every age, be sure to subscribe to our channel and hit that notification bell so you don't miss our future videos. Thank you for watching. Keep challenging those myths, keep exploring, and keep living your best life at every age.